What's going on? Today we're breaking down the difference between a VA loan cash out refinance versus a home equity line of credit, also known as a HELOC, or a second mortgage that's fixed, also known as a HELOan. It's very relevant in today's times because you may need to access equity in your property. How do you do it? What really makes sense for you? So we're going to break all those differences down today and just kind of break down like where would it make sense, where doesn't it make sense, and go through a couple of examples, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to maximize the equity you have in your property to either do let's say, for example, you need to do a renovation. You need to do a major purchase. A life event happens. How do you prepare for it and leverage what you have? Because the VA home loan itself is a phenomenal benefit, but is it always right when it comes to getting these types of mortgages? And so let's first break down what is a VA loan cash out refinance. I think it's a great product, definitely with some limitations. Now, this is one of the only loan products that exist currently that you're able to do 100% cash out refinance on. So let's say the house is worth $300,000, for example, and you want to be able to pull all the equity out of your property. You can do that with a VA home loan. Now, there's definitely downsides to that. In general, you really want to be at a 90% loan to value or better, just because what we normally see from experience is that interest rates are typically going to be higher once you pass that threshold, and qualifications do get a little bit tighter. And again, rates kind of get out of control. Really 90%. Another big piece to a cash out refinance is that if you don't use your VA loan the first time around and you're refinancing it from, let's say, an FHA loan to a FHA or conventional loan into a VA loan, it's still considered a cash out. So a big downside to that is, one, if you don't have a 10% or greater VA disability rating, you have to pay a 3.3% VA funding fee currently, no matter how much equity you have in the property. So that is definitely a big downside. And I did a whole video on that not too long ago, and I'll drop that link in the description, because on average, it costs veterans $20,200 by not using the VA home loan the first time around. You still need to get a appraisal on the property. You're gonna have to get typically a termite inspection on the property as well. And if you have a condo that you use with a conventional loan, you have to get a VA condo approved. Plus, you have to get a waiver on it if it gets denied. And we have a ton of videos around leveraging that as well, because again, it is a big perk to the program itself. Now, the big downside to using that program is that you have to refinance the entire balance of the mortgage. Now, if you, let's say, refinance or purchase back in 21, 22 and have a really low interest rate, this is where it gets a little bit dicey, because do you use the VA loan program to consolidate that, or to pull out money in order to, let's say, buy an RV, for example, or leverage equity to purchase another property, because you can do that with your VA home loan and the property that you have. But again, this is kind of where people are sitting in that crossroads, right? You may have a lot of equity in your property, you have a really low interest rate. How do you leverage that? Another piece to that versus, like, let's say a home equity line of credit, which we're going to go over here next, it depends on the debt size that you have and how much you would need that second mortgage for, because that's kind of where you cross that bridge of, does the cash out refinance, do you need $150,000, $200,000, or do you need, let's say, $20,000? Two very different conversations, because you also have to understand the closing cost difference between the two. And I would say, from experience, on average, we see HELOCs to be a little bit less. But again, it's a very different program. The nice part about the cash out refinance on a VA loan is that it's a fixed payment as far as your principal and interest. Remember, your mortgage payment can still change because taxes and insurance typically go up. And if they're going down, please let us know where you live, because I'm sure people want to move there because costs, again, typically are going to go down. So let's break down what a home equity line of credit is. Now, this program is a second mortgage that's put on top of the first mortgage. Yes, even with a VA home loan on the first mortgage, you can get a second mortgage on there, and there's plenty of lending institutions that exist that you can leverage that for. The reason why I emphasize this is because we have a lot of people that say, oh, if the second mortgage doesn't meet the terms of the first mortgage, then you can't use the VA home loan. And that is just not true. The VA's come out with a circular about that as well. The only time that is implemented is if you are purchasing a property and you want to use the first mortgage and the second mortgage with that. At the same time. So that's definitely going to be not the case in where you stand today. You are owning you currently own the property and you just want to be able to get a second mortgage on there. Now, the second mortgage or the HELOC consists of a couple parts. So one of them is going to be understanding that you have a draw period, meaning that you can pull money out for a certain period of time, and then a period where it goes to a fixed rate mortgage for a certain period of time. Now, in general, what we see, from experience, is that the first 3 to 10 years is going to be your draw period that you can use your line of credit for. So what a lender will typically do when you go to them is they're going to assess the property by either doing an appraisal, or they have some type of automated valuation system that they use to determine what the value of the property is. Then they will lend you up to a certain amount of equity that you have in the property. So let's just use simple numbers. Let's say you have a $100,000 mortgage. Let's say the value of the property is $100,000. You have a $50,000 current mortgage balance. So some lenders will let you go up to 80% of the loan to value, 90, even 100%. Now that I don't really see that much, but they definitely exist out there. So let's just use the middle ground. Let's say you want to do a 90% loan to value, meaning so from 50,000 to 90,000, they'll give you that $40,000 line of credit on your property. The good part about these programs is that if you take out this HELOC, it's not like you have to draw the full $40,000. Think of it as a checkbook that's attached to your property. They physically give you checks, and if you need to, let's say you need to, I don't know, you want to put in a new garage and it costs $30,000. Well, then you can use that line of credit, write the check out to the contractor, or do the work yourself, however you please. And then you're able to then use that line of credit. And now you're using, you use $30,000 of that $40,000, and that's what you're going to be responsible for paying back. Now, these programs are all going to be they're slightly different or very different based on who you work with as far as where they tie the interest rate to. And again, that draw period, because ideally you want it the longest possible. 10 years is probably like the best case scenario. But again, then when that repayment happens for the next 20 years, your mortgage payment's going to be a lot higher, because the first draw period is typically going to be interest only. So you're paying none of the equity back. But again, people leverage these in different ways, because with these HELOCs, you can actually, let's say for the same example, 40,000, and let's just use, for example, it's a 10-year term, right? So some people will say, well, I'm going to get a bonus here in the next couple of months and I'll be able to pay off whatever that I took out. So again, it's like a credit card, right? It'll keep replenishing itself and you still have another 10,000 in our example to be able to use to whatever you want. Another way people leverage these is like, let's say you're going to be selling your home, but you want to make it more marketable, but you don't have the cash on hand. But hey, if you took out $20,000 equity from your current property and were able to do some updates to it, and you'd gain another $40,000 in equity, well, that's where these tools come in play. And what I always say is that when you don't need money, people want to give you money. But when you need money, that's when people kind of back away from them. So that's why having these in place ahead of time is highly recommended. And just shop around and see who's got the best terms. Some of them cover closing costs, some don't. But that's where you really kind of have to draw the line on those. Now, another big piece to these HELOCs is that interest rates are typically going to be higher. And the reason for that is because a lender is taking a secondary position on your mortgage. How that's relevant for you is because if you were to go to foreclosure, the first lien holder gets paid first and then the second lien holder. And obviously, as we know, over the last a while ago in 2008, 2009, when we had the big market crash, obviously second mortgages took a huge hit on those. Now, let's kind of just go through, actually, before we do that, let me talk about HE loans. That's a fixed rate second mortgage. That's also typically can be amortized over different terms, 10, 15, 20, 30-year terms. And that's typically when you need a finite amount of cash and you want to have a fixed payment. Because remember, on the HELOC, it's variable. Typically, the rates change every single month, so it can be a little scary for people. But again, it gives you flexibility to use that program. HELOC is going to be a second mortgage that's just fixed for the duration. And again, if you have a project that you know, like, hey, I know how much money I need, great program to be able to do that. Now, comparing the two, it's kind of night and day, right? Because one, and a HELOC, you're taking out a draw. You really don't know what, the interest rate's going to fluctuate, but it gives you flexibility. If you do a cash out refinance, you're typically taking out a fine amount of money, but your payment is fixed. Where you look at where you should do one or the other, it's really going to depend on what your first rate mortgage is and how much money you need for the second mortgage. Because again, the higher the second mortgage, you need to look at what is called a blended rate, right? What's my payment on my first? What's my payment on the second? And what that looks like. Versus if I were just to refinance the whole balance of the mortgage into one, compare it against that and what your current bills are. That's really how you look at these because, again, everyone's situation is going to be different. And a good example of that is we've seen people that will do debt consolidation, right? And I'm not saying this is for everyone, and this is just purely an example for educational purposes, agree or not, education. So let's say you had, for whatever reason here, let's say you had a current second mortgage of, let's say it was $50,000 and it was a fixed rate term, but let's say it was 10%, for example, on that. You had another car loan that maybe was $30,000. Payment is going to be about $900 a month for whatever reason. And then you have some additional credit card bills that have 28, 29% interest rate. And let's say that comes out to be about $150,000 versus, so that's kind of your current financial picture. Now, when you're looking at getting a HELOC or a VA Cash-Out Refinance, that's what we talked about just a little bit ago, is that you're going to compare the two of taking out a $150,000 home equity line of credit versus the, hey, I want to do a straight up VA Cash-Out Refinance. Because in that scenario, most likely it's going to make sense to do something so you get rid of the high interest debt, or you're going to be able to come up with a saving and spending strategy to be able to bring that down on your own without leveraging equity in your property. And now another key to this is that if you consolidate a lot of this debt, you have the potential of credit scores going up, improving your overall financial picture, and freeing up cash flow, which is a really big thing, especially when you're looking at doing these HELOCs or cash out refinances. It's really about how much money can I save on a monthly basis. And the other part is if you're used to spending that kind of money, then use the extra money that you're getting and pay down the cash out refinance, or you can always pay down the HELOC. Another part with the VA Cash-Out Refinance that I want to point out, which is relevant when it comes to interest rate reduction refinance loans. Like I mentioned before, if you're doing a cash-out refinance, typically rates are going to be a little bit higher than a regular VA purchase home loan. But after you do a VA cash-out refinance, after you've made six payments in 210 days, you are eligible to do an interest rate reduction refinance loan and still be able to get those great rates. Where other loan products don't have that. If you did a cash out before or did a home equity line of credit, then it's considered a cash out and you get worse rates. So it's one of the big perks of using the VA home loan. So hopefully you guys found this video useful and relevant for your situation. Make sure you guys share, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you soon.